What's up, everybody? It's Monday, it's the Late Night Agenda. I'm your host Craig and you're all very welcome along to the show. We were supposed to have a break tonight, but as a couple of you have guessed, I just couldn't keep myself away. I actually thought I'd be tired today. I wasn't as tired as I expected after all the streaming yesterday, the 5-6 hours worth of streaming. I woke up and I actually felt alright, so I said, what can we talk about today? And I thought transfers, why not? Let's go straight into transfers. But look, as always, while we start the show, let's say hello to the people that are in the chat. Cape Town Muslim, Jax Page, Brian Morrissey, Liverpool Football Club, Angus Court, Brandon Kelly, Wool Wizard, Danny, Ethan Collins, Liverpool FC, Gary Richards, Mickey Friars, Azzy, Adrian Hall, who else have we got in? Joshua Hoy, Sub 2 Pewds, have I missed anybody? Stephen Richards, I think I've got everybody. Nice. Right, I think I've got everybody. SDC, Patrick Silk, Steve Wall, Mossy Kyo, Far Isle, Evan Casey, Kyle Martin, and everybody else that's coming in late. Jersey Boy, Rob and everybody keen. Sorry, Ethan, Amy, Kane, Mossy, Callum, David, Pro Clubs Gameplay. Look, I think I've got everybody. I'll never walk it out 1992. And nobody awesome 01. And Boya, of course, Boya, how are you, mate? Look, transfer news, ladies and gents. Transfer news, and more transfer news. I love it. Will said caught offside has today. Yes, look, I've seen that stuff from caught offside. For those of you that don't know what Will is talking about, caught offside had a journalist that apparently wrote a story that said Liverpool fans were singing songs mocking the death of Emiliano Sala during yesterday's game against Cardiff. This has been proven to be complete and utter bullshit, and it was caught onto by a very quick-witted or quick-minded Liverpool fan who posted up, let people know about it, and now I would imagine the caught offside and this gentleman, I can't remember the guy's name, are going to have a little letter or two from Liverpool's solicitors, I imagine. Yeah, look, and I've no legal background, but I'm just basing this off what other people have said. People that do have, I know for a fact, are practicing solicitors that have said that they're up shit creek here, they're in trouble. And good enough for them. If you're making up stories to get clicks, particularly around something so disturbing, so tragic as the death of Emiliano Sala, it was a horrendous event, and of course the pilot as well. To accuse Liverpool fans or any set of football fans of an act like that, it's just not true. We've seen it in the Manchester Evening News as well, I believe, and I'm not sure if this was posted directly by them or a journalist that worked for them. There was accusations that Liverpool fans threw a brick at the Manchester City bus last year, and it wasn't a brick, as we know. It was cans and flares and other bits and pieces, and that was proven to be bullshit as well. So the amount of these media outlets that are making up stories for clicks, I'm just glad that people aren't believing everything they read anymore, that some people are taking it upon themselves to fact check things, to look into things, to make sure that, what they're saying is actually right, because it has a massive effect. You're vilifying a whole section of fans here with a made up story just for some fucking clicks. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And Will, good one to kick the show off with, mate. Nice one. What have we got here? Congrats on 12k. Thank you very much. I can't believe we did it, but thank you. Right, give me your thoughts on everything. Let me talk transfers. Anything you want to talk about, guys. This is your show tonight. Any rumours, any gossip, any players you want in. I do, of course, have a few bits and pieces. Fuck them, said Boya with regards to that article. Yeah, mate, it was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I read something actually on Boya you might know about, this being based on Leicester actually. Apparently Tielemans wants to stay at Leicester. He's very happy there and he wants to make that move permanent, which I'm sure is great news to you as a Leicester fan. Andrew said fake news as usual, it seems. Absolutely, Andrew, absolutely fake news, complete bullshit just for clicks. And look, let's be fair, we all manipulate things for clicks from time to time. Everybody does it. YouTubers do it. You want the headline, you want to drag people in, but you do not make up facts. You do not state things as a fact that are not facts just to get clicks. I have slagged off probably every single opposition fan base in the world that we've not in the world, in the Premier League at one point or another. But I don't remember, and I've never gone out of my way to make up anything about them to get clicks. It's disgusting behaviour, particularly when you're mocking somebody's death, which is just disgusting. Congrats to Robbie Fowler as well, which is great to see. Robbie Fowler is about to be unveiled, or maybe he already has been unveiled, as the new Brisbane Roar manager. So congratulations to Robbie Fowler on that one, and I'm sure he'll have the backing of every single Liverpool fan around the world, and the many, many, many Reds that are down in Australia as well. Yeah, great news. Good to see Robbie Fowler doing that one. Rumour said Anfield Agenda will hit 100,000 subs before the end of the year. I don't think so, Steph, mate. But look, where we are is amazing. I'm humbled, and so is, I know Connor is as well. I was speaking to him earlier on. To have gotten 12k in our first season is absolutely. It means a lot to us. I mean, some channels can have a really good run. They can hit 100k in a year, but you know what? 12k for us means the world. Right, here's one. Mickey Friars, welcome, buddy. Zaha for Liverpool. Now, on that, you've got me there. That's linked me to something, Mickey. Well in. Former Irish international and man with absolutely no Irish heritage in him whatsoever, Tony Cascarino, believes that Jurgen Klopp wants to sign Zaha in the summer. As Mickey has pointed out there. Now, I thought this might be a good one to kick us off tonight. Zaha at Liverpool. Would you like to see it? Is he good enough? Can you push aside the old Manchester United connection? All the other bits and pieces? My personal opinion on this is yes, yes, yes. He's an excellent footballer. And I think he has now developed enough that he would grace any of the top 6 teams. So for me, Zaha to Liverpool, I don't know if it's going to happen. Tony Cascarino is fully convinced that Jurgen Klopp wants to bring him in because I think he was basing this on the way we treated him when he played against us or something like that. I didn't read the whole article, I just glanced at it. So yeah, Zaha, yes or no? We'll get to Fekir as well, don't worry. Who else have we got in? Where was my friend? There he is, Larry Leach, how are you, buddy? There was a Canadian TV children's show called Romper Room that ended with the host looking through a mirror saying hi to all the children. And now you start saying hi to all. Yeah, some people don't like me doing it, Larry. Some people have had a go at me for saying hello to everybody and saying it takes up a minute or 2 minutes of a stream and I've got all that shit for it. But people take the time to come in. I think it's only right that I take the time whilst the channel is at the size it is. I mean, if we get Mark Goldbridge size, if we get Redmen TV size, anything like that, then obviously I won't be able to do it anymore. Can we sign Clavan just for those beautiful step overs? There is always hope, Tom. There's always hope. Maybe it's not working out for McCallery. Maybe we can get those step overs back. I've always thought Maddison is a great player, said Will. Don't say that around Boya. Oh, don't say that around Boya, mate. Anthony will lose his marbles if you start talking about wanting to sign James Maddison. Brian said, considering how close we are to the summer, it's surprising how few rumours are going around for Liverpool. It shows how much more professional we are as a club. It is true, and that's what made me think about this. Usually at this time of the season, Dave is in as well. How are you, Dave? At this time of the season, you're surrounded by them. I remember last year having a ton of rumours to go around and talk about. And as you pointed out, Brian, it seems to have gotten quieter. I do owe Brian a bag of Kios, by the way, now, because we had a little bet. I didn't think we'd hit 12k before midnight tonight. He said we would. He won. What else we got? Craig, Chelsea are dropping points. Is it over? I know it was 2-2 the last I seen. But I came upstairs to set up, so I don't know how that one finished. Your thoughts on the 3rd and 4th position? Nobody wants it. Call me Rizzy, mate. That seems to be the case, doesn't it? It's nuts. Nobody wants to just nail down that place. It seems United lost and everybody's like, well, that's them fucked. No. Arsenal said, hold my beer. We're going to lose as well. And Chelsea were 2-2 against Burnley last I checked. Now, look, that might have changed at the end of the game. I don't know. I'm just scrolling down. No, still 2-2. People are saying thank you. As you said, nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. But that makes Wednesday night all the more interesting, doesn't it? It means I've seen all the things you want to read, by the way. I've seen Pogba coming out and saying they owe a performance. I've seen their manager, Solskjaer, come out and say that he wants better from them. I've seen the fans say it wasn't acceptable. So maybe we'll get something from these fuckers on Wednesday. I mean these fuckers in the most respectfully non-respectful way I can possibly say it. You know what I mean. It's a massive game. We'll be doing a watch along of that game on here on Wednesday, so I hope you can join us for that one. Zaha could be at least a backup to replace Sturridge, said awfully British. Will said we should go in for Zaha of Palace. Great signing. They've Origi to Fulham. That's interesting. Can they afford him though after going down? I don't know if they could afford him. Liverpool looking for 20 million. I mean, 20 million to now a championship club is a lot of money. At the start of the season, I asked you, do you think you'd win the Golden Boot? And you said either Salah or Aubameyang. What do you think now? I don't know. I'm still pretty close, I think. It's really difficult to call. I mean, You would have to say Aguero probably shades it because he's another game. He's an extra game over Salah. I'm not sure of how many games have Arsenal got left to play. I don't even know, to be honest, because I haven't paid any attention to them because they're not relevant to us. But yeah, you'd have to say whilst Aguero is a game in hand, possibly him. But you know, it's great for Salah to be right up there again. How he didn't get listed in the PFA Player of the Year awards, I just don't know. Every day is me. Oh mate, I felt so bad for you. Two losses in a row. Every day is me, the Leeds fan. I don't know what to say, mate. I'm actually hopeful Leeds go up. I really want Leeds to go up. I like Leeds. My uncle support Leeds, a couple of them. I'm devastated. I'm devastated for you. I just didn't see that result today. I know Brentford's a tricky place to go, but the penalty incident in the first half was absolutely shocking. Another example of ridiculous refereeing. How he couldn't give that penalty, I will never know. It was 5 yards from it. It was as clear a penalty as you'll ever want to see. I mean, I do feel for you, buddy. I saw a rumour saying Zaha was linked to PSG. I mean, yeah, I can imagine that, Scotty. I mean, it's tough to know what's bullshit and what isn't it? Because PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona have pretty much been linked to everybody. Whereas maybe it's just me, but the English clubs, the Liverpools, the Uniteds, the Manchester Cities, Spurs, Arsenals, they seem to have been a bit quieter so far. I don't know if the clubs are doing, their best to keep it under wraps, but for me there doesn't seem to be as many transfer rumours relating to English clubs. Alex said, we have a good team, we're probably not going to sign a player for the first team. Oh, I think we will, mate. I think we'd be absolutely silly not to. Think about it this way, Alex. We're losing Daniel Sturridge. We're losing Moreno. We're going to lose Mignolet because Mignolet deserves his move. He's stayed this season. He's been back up. He's been very professional. Couldn't begrudge him his move. So he's going to get his move. Possibly Lallana moving on. I think Lovren might move on. We're going to have to sign another forward, I think. And I know Ryan Brewster's coming through and Ryan Brewster's going to be brilliant, but I still think we'll need another one. So I'd imagine we'll probably bring in 2 or 3 first squad players, should I say. Sell Lovren and buy back Clavin, said Prez Mane. Do you think Klopp will sign me, said Brandon Kelly? I don't know, mate. I don't know how good you are. Maybe. If you do get signed, at least we'll be able to say, we knew Brandon when... I'd love Batshuayi. I don't think he's good enough personally, Amy. He's so hit and miss. He didn't work at Atletico. He didn't work at Marseille, obviously. He didn't work at Chelsea. Is he working at Crystal Palace? I don't know. For me, it would be a massive no to Batshuayi, but look, that's just a personal thing. Sarri getting sent to the stands. Why was he trying to smoke on the side again? No, I know. He probably got sent to the stands for giving a lip back to the ref. Domestic Butler, how are you, mate? Said, hey, Alisson has already won the Golden Gloves. Anybody know? No, he hasn't. No. I think, from what I can gather, Ederson's 2 behind him, with 3 games to go for Ederson, and of course 2 games to go for Alisson. So I think we need 1 more clean sheet and that would win it. But what he has done is equal the record for clean sheets over the previous 10 seasons with 19. So well done to Alisson Becker on that one. Lallana to Leicester does make sense, said Brian Morrissey. Boya, if you're in the chat, mate, love to know your thoughts on that one. Adam Parks, Craig, congrats on 12k, thank you. But it's congrats to all of us because it's our channel, all of us together. Every day is me, so I'm fuming. Auto promotion hopes are gone. It looks that way. What are you, 3 points behind Sheffield United now, and they have superior goal difference, 2 games to go. It does look like it's sadly gonna have to be a battle in the playoffs, mate, and playoffs are fucking difficult. We need a backup striker, a backup defence at Luke Mason. I'd like the Ibala. Where's that one gone? Sorry, let me get back for that one. Somebody said they'd like the Ibala. Where was it? Oh, I like the Ibala. LFC 333. Would love us to go for Hudson-Odoi, said Justin Stewart. I wouldn't mind him either, to be fair. Don't know if Chelsea would sell to us, though. Is his contract situation that he has 1 season left after this season? If so, it would be very interesting to see what Chelsea do. And I think it might boil down to as well whether Chelsea get this transfer ban or not. We sold their best player to Barcelona and we're playing them in the Champions League semi-finals. Was he your best player? I mean, I would argue if he was our best player or not. Got cool. I remember having a conversation with Connor, Dave and Chris at the time, and we were saying Firmino or Coutinho, who would you like to lose if you had to lose one? And if I remember this correctly, and I don't like to speak for the other guys when I don't know, most of us went for selling Coutinho and keeping Firmino because we thought he was more pivotal to the squad or to the formation. Boya said we've enough midfielders, don't need them, especially for the wages he'd want. That's with regards to Lallana. Hey Craig, are you going to the Huddersfield game? No mate, I haven't got a ticket to a single game this season. Haven't been able to get one. I wish I was going to the Huddersfield game. Friday night though, which is interesting. Means we get to play before City again. Would you get Hazard? I hate Hazard, mate. No, I absolutely despise him. Look, he's a talented footballer, an immensely talented footballer, but I don't like his attitude. I just don't like his attitude one bit. I'd hate to see him in a Liverpool shirt. Just something wouldn't sit right with me seeing him in a Liverpool shirt. We need a 10, a centre back and a striker, said Mark Hendley. Look, another one that was listed as being a possible Liverpool target, Lorenzo Insigne, who many Reds actually spoke about as a possible signing, has today been linked with a move to Atletico Madrid. I don't know how strongly those links are. I don't know if Napoli will sell him. He looks like a player that wants out, from what I can see. Napoli are just a club that seem to be treading water at the minute. They just seem to be stuck in this little group behind Juventus that they can't quite get up to them at that level. In Europe, they're not doing too great. They got knocked out of the Champions League, obviously, by us. And then they went into the Europa League. Arsenal knocked them out. So maybe he's thinking, what is he now? Lorenzo Insigne is 27, I think, 28. Is he something like that? Maybe he's looking to move on as well. I don't know if Atletico would suit him personally, but I don't want him at Liverpool. I've said this all along. I think he's too hit and miss. I'd rather a silent signing if they turn out like Fabinho, said Mossy Wassy, which is sound, absolutely. I'm gutted, can't go to the City game. Fuck Sky Sports, said Boya. They moved that one, didn't they, mate? For TV, which again, they just don't care about the fans at times, do they? We're linked to Hazard's brother, said Ella, which we have been. Thorgan Hazard. Everything I've read, Borussia Mönchengladbach have said this week that he's going to stay there for another season. But then you read other things from Bild and stuff and Kicker, and they seem to suggest that, I think it was Kicker, that he's going to sign for Borussia Dortmund. So I don't know what to say. He's had a very good season, although Mönchengladbach I think they're just behind Eintracht Frankfurt in 5th place in the Bundesliga, which is one place outside Champions League. We should sign David Neres, said Sean Burke. Look, let me go through a list of players that, to my memory, we've been linked with. Now, of course, if there's anybody here that you guys want to talk about, please put it in the chat and we'll do our best to go through it. Or if I've forgotten anybody obvious, please do let me know, because it was a bit of a rush job. So the list that I went with was Werner, Havertz, Bailey, Brandt, Omar, Alderweireld, De Ligt, João Felix, Isco, Insigne, Neres, Neves, Tonali, Jovic and Bergwijn. Have I forgotten anybody there? If I've forgotten anybody, let me know. Is there anybody on that list that you guys think we're going to go and sign? I'd love to know who you think is the most plausible signing for Liverpool this summer. So basically, if I said to you all now, one signing this summer is coming to the Reds, who is it? Bang. Please do let me know in the chat. Burnley just drew with Chelsea. Nobody wants top 4. Again, though, it does play into our hands for Wednesday night, doesn't it, that result came? I'm not good at transfers. I'll be quiet and watch. Brandon, don't ever apologise, mate. Your opinion is as valid as anybody else's, mate. Don't ever apologise, mate. State your opinion. You're always welcome to. Firmino so critical to how our team plays. Very important player, said Mark Hendley. Call me stupid, but Richarlison to Liverpool, said Christine Roberts. I know that there was an article, Christine, a while back that said that Jurgen Klopp met with his agent, but somebody said that he was it Coutinho's agent as well, the same guy? And they also said that Jurgen Klopp was a big admirer of Richarlison. The only thing that makes me not believe that is, if he's such a big admirer of Richarlison, why didn't he sign him when he was leaving Watford to go to Everton? I think we would have been able to outmuscle Everton financially there, so... But there was definitely links, Christine. There was definitely some links there. You're not wrong with that. Is it me or are transfer rumours seldom true? Do you know what? I've never actually looked into that from a statistical... Jesus Christ, can I get the words out? A statistical point of view. And I would say a good percentage of them are nonsense, yeah? I'd say. And though I suppose you have to take into account sometimes there's different levels of interest. Players might be watched, scouted... little brief chats about them, and then they get a price that they don't like. So I suppose there's levels of interest in players as well. And then of course you get some clubs who will just leak wrong information to throw people off a scent, or to push up the price of a different player as well. Right, here we go with the list of players. Oh, I forgot Fekir on my list as well. How the fuck could I sure I wrote Fekir there. No, I didn't. Jesus, forgot Fekir. There you go. Anyway, right, let's go through the list of people that I think is signing. So we have Pepe, which is another one I've forgotten. Good show, Connor. Timo Werner, Dybala, Neres, Fekir, Messi. Very optimistic press. Fekir, Dybala, Sessegnon. I'm doing very well, thank you, Was It Gaming. Thank you for joining us. We might sign João Felix. I think we've been linked to him. Juventus have been linked to him. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester City. And he does have something like €120 million release clause, I believe. Fekir seems to be... I know there's another few shouts in here. De Ligt, Timo Werner, Ziyech. Did I not put Ziyech on my list? I'm sure I wrote down Ziyech as well. I missed a load of these players. Yeah, so Ziyech, that's definitely another one. Fekir seems to be the one most people think is going to come, which does shock me. I really don't think he's coming. I'd be interested to know, though. His agent said that there was more to that transfer not happening than the medical. Be interested to know what that was. Nicolas Pepe, the Lille winger, said Callum. Again, he'd been linked to Real Madrid, but look, Real Madrid has been linked to everybody, so you have to take anything they're linked to with a pinch of salt. Good list, no Leicester players I like, said Boya. Brandt said, is it ABSH? Nick Pope and Fekir. I mean, we probably will need a backup keeper, Tom, so I'm all for giving Queevy and Kelleher that chance. I mean, I gave you guys my opinion on that last night, but if we're going to go outside, then Nick Pope's a decent show. Bruno Fernandes, I forgot about him. Yibber, good show. Dodge 76 is putting himself forward as that likely signing. Can I get Dodge 76 on the back of the shirt if that happens, mate? If you do sign, you'll send me a shirt with Dodge 76 on the back of it, won't you? Will reckons De Ligt. It has to be De Ligt. I don't know who will sign. I know, I'm struggling as well. This is why I wanted to do this show tonight. I wanted to get a feel for the transfers that people think might actually happen. Bogdan, thank God his contract with Liverpool is up, I think at the end of May. So finally Adam Bogdan will be gone forever. Bye bye. Call me crazy, I'd like to see Smalling beside VVD. I don't want to call you crazy, Aaron, but I also don't want to agree with you. I don't want to see Chris Smalling anywhere near our central defence. He's not the worst in the world, don't get me wrong. He's a decent centre back, but I mean, we've got Gomez. I just think Alderweireld makes sense financially because it allows the younger players to come through, although I haven't seen any serious links with Alderweireld in Liverpool. SDC said would love Julian Brandt and Havertz. Liverpool are after Chubby Brown as a backup to Alisson. Might as well be Chubby Brown, she's nothing to do. You must sign the whole Ajax squad, or you'll sign the whole Ajax squad. I think that Ajax squad is going to be ripped apart by most top European clubs, Jaden, this summer. Frankie de Jong's obviously gone to Barcelona. De Ligt looks like he's going somewhere. There's Neres, there's Ziyech. There was another defender as well, I think, from Ajax. There's probably a couple more I could think of as well. I mean, Tadic is probably too old for another move, so he'll probably stay there. I know Son ain't gone, but I'd love him at Liverpool. Aiden, I don't think you'll find many of us that disagree with you, pal. Heung-min Son or Heung-song Min, you know I can never get that right. He'd be amazing at Liverpool, absolutely amazing, and he would fit in our system perfectly. Jurgen Klopp would love him. Imagine his work rate in our system as well. He'd be amazing. David said, missed the last couple of lives. Hey Craig, David, thank you for coming in, mate. How are you? And thank you for joining us again. French Football said Salah is unhappy at Liverpool. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, I mean, I'm gathering now. I'm just guessing, Mark. I'm guessing this has something to do with all those Salah fanboys that were slating James Milner for not giving him the penalty and saying it was greed and all this horrible shit. I'm sure it probably is a spin-off on that. Mohamed Salah is going fucking nowhere. He's very happy at Liverpool Football Club. Anybody that read his recent article with Time magazine will know how happy he is. Just look at him playing for the club. He loves it here. He's worshipped here. Why would he go and leave? It doesn't make any sense, particularly after he just signed a new deal, so the club have all the power. If not, De Ligt, thoughts on Harry Maguire? I mean, I think he has an even bigger head than me, which is very rare on this planet. I mean, my head is massive, but Harry Maguire's is massive. He's a great defender, though. He's top notch, Harry Maguire. I won't say anything about him defensively. He's a very good defender. I just don't know. Would he suit our type of defending? Maybe Boya is a better person to ask on this. I don't know if maybe he's used to sitting a bit deeper and soaking it up a bit more. But look, he's a very good defender. I won't slate the guy. You can have Phil Jones for free. He literally would get an injury brush in his teeth, said MUFC Gamer. I'll pass, thank you, buddy. But somebody did suggest MUFC Gamer a second ago. You might have seen it, the Chris Smalling thing. What's your take on Chris Smalling as a United fan? Do you think he cuts the mustard at United, or would you like to see him moved on? Oxlade-Chamberlain would be like a new signing, said Jamie Bennett. Martin said, are you sure Liverpool can spend much this summer? People tend to forget the FFP rule. Oh, absolutely. Think about it this way. We posted a profit of in excess of £100 million. We were the first Premier League club to do that. So there's money there. And we're going far in the Champions League again, and we're about to sign a monster shirt sponsorship deal. This club has money. Don't worry about that. Now, I'm not saying we have money to go out and start dropping 200 million on one player, but there's money there to support Jurgen Klopp. If Jurgen Klopp wants to go and drop 75 million quid, 80 million quid on another player, the money's there. I mean, it's there in black and white, like it's proven. FFP, we're sound with FFP, which is brilliant. It's great to be able to say that. I think De Ligt will be the perfect centre-back with Virgil van Dijk, said Fabian Black. Indeed he would. Without a shadow of a doubt. Sign Dele Alli, said Prez Mane. It still sticks in my throat that he should have been a Liverpool player, mate. That deal was done. And for what I was told, and look, again, this could be absolute horseshit, but I was told that we moved the goalposts with regards to his wages, and that he was promised, now I don't know this figure, I'm just making up a figure here, so let's say he was promised 30 grand a week. At the time, now go back when he was younger, he was promised 30 grand a week, and then when it came time to sit down and look at the contracts, a lot of that was incentivised and bonused, whereas he was led to believe that it was going to be a base. Now that's what I was told at the time. I've got no idea of the validity of that, so please take it with a pinch of salt, but it does still stick in my fucking throat that he could have been a Liverpool player, and we let him go, and he's gone to Spurs, and he's a great player, and he could have been even better at Liverpool. But look, it is what it is. Clubs are littered with stories of players that they missed out on. Okay. I saw Mark tweet about wanting Arabs to buy United so they can spend 1 billion, but he doesn't seem to think about the fact that United have spent 550 million over the past 3 seasons. I honestly don't know too much about Manchester United's finances. Obviously Mark would know an awful lot more about that than me. What I do know is that the club and the owners of the club pay out a lot of dividends, and a lot of money goes back out the door of United because of the leveraged way they were bought out. Now this is a very basic understanding of it. So I know United fans want the owners out, absolutely, for various reasons, not just that, but there is a lot of the profits of Manchester United gone back out the door. Whereas we're very lucky that our owners have come in, to my knowledge, haven't taken a single penny profit from the club, but will, in their exit strategy, make a massive, massive profit. Now, personally, I don't give a shit about that. I see owners that will have come in, really built us up, built a new stand, put in a good manager, put in a good structure, built a new training ground, put a shitload of money in on transfers, increased their revenue, and in turn the club is worth infinitely more than when they bought it. And if they sell up in 5, 6, 7 years time and make hundreds of millions, even billions in profit, fair play to them. I wouldn't begrudge them a fucking penny of it because they've done it the right way. They've come in, they've built their club up, they've loaned us money to build a main stand, and I think if memory serves, I think there was a 3% interest rate on that, I think. But I was told that 3% or whatever the interest rate was only there because it has to be there legally to cover the cost of inflation. over the term of the loan. Apparently, again, this is my very basic understanding of things. So yeah, look, we're very lucky in the owners that we have. Might have gotten off to a shaky start, but I think we can all see how they've structured things and how good a place the club is in right now. And I still swear all of that comes back to Jurgen Norbert Klopp, and that's the best thing they've done at this club yet. Matip has been our best defender in the past month, said Gibber. Can't really argue much against that. He's been very, very good. Hey Craig, I'd like to see a sign of Timo Werner and Hakim Ziyech. That would be a great summer, said Connor Nibbler. I don't know where I stand on Ziyech, and it's probably because I haven't watched him as much as other people have. I don't know. A lot of people love the guy. I just don't know if he's one of those players that just works at Ajax in an Ajax system. I don't know, but he's definitely somebody that a lot of Reds would like. Would you sign De Ligt or Maguire? Oh, De Ligt every day of the week. And there isn't another centre back in the world I would sign over Matthijs De Ligt right now. Mainly because how good he is now and how long you could get him for. I mean, you sign De Ligt now at 19 years of age. Imagine the fact that in 6 years' time, he's still only going to be 25 years of age. Not even in his prime yet. Imagine how much he'd be worth then. I mean, it just makes sense on so many levels to sign him. Whoever gets him, doesn't matter what they pay for him, I don't think, at this moment in time. It's still going to look out like a bargain in a year, 2 years' time. Cardiff manager said Salah as a diver. I'm giving 9.9 out of 10 for the dive. Yeah, look, Neil Warnock is a salty fuck. He is one of the saltiest, least classy managers you'll ever come across. He cannot ever take a defeat well. He loves falling out. He loves saying stupid shit in front of the camera. Dermot Gallagher came on Sky today, former referee, and said it was a penalty. Anybody I've seen written about it, it's a penalty. Paul Tompkins of the Tompkins Times, probably my favourite Liverpool, I won't say Liverpool-based journalist because I don't think he lives in Liverpool, but journalist that writes about the club. And probably the most knowledgeable Liverpool fan I've ever spoken to. He wrote a really good piece on it in the Tompkins Times. 13 fucking seconds he was held for. Now, if that isn't a penalty, I don't know what is. He turned left, he turned right, he turned back again. There was even a knee across his leg. It was a blatant penalty. I don't know why any of these arguments are there around this penalty. I can pull up maybe 3, 4, 5 incidents with Salah where you can go, yeah, that's sort of debatable on other things. But this, no, it was blatant. If you get a chance, go onto Paul Tompkins' Twitter page or just go onto the Tompkins Times. And the first part of this article is free. It's a 2-part article, the one around Mohamed Salah and this penalty incident, and it lists statistics about Wilfred Zaha, other forwards, other club penalties. I think United have had 13 penalties in the past year or something. Liverpool have had 7. And I'm not throwing shade at United there either. I'm just trying to remember stuff from the article. But the Tompkins Times, have a look at it. Brilliant article by Paul Tompkins that will explain what I'm trying to say far more eloquently than I could ever do it. Cronky the Wonky out to the original gunner. From my very brief understanding of Arsenal, mate, as well. A lot of Arsenal fans aren't happy with Cronky. Why did United go for Solskjaer when Rafa was available? I honestly don't know why they went for Solskjaer full stop. It just doesn't make any sense. Yes, he was brought up, if you want, in the Manchester United system, but he doesn't have enough experience as a manager for me to manage a club the size of Manchester United. But look, that's not for us to really be chatting about. Liverpool looking strong, dipping out of the cups early was a good move. Evan Guest said, Craig, can Brewster compete off the bench for Liverpool next season, or do we loan him out? Oh, he won't be loaned out. There's no way he's getting loaned out, Evan. He was told that he's going to get his opportunities, from what I can gather. The club fought really hard to keep Ryan Brewster. Don't forget that we actually cancelled the pre-season friendly against Borussia Mönchengladbach because they were sniffing around them last summer, and we were so pissed off about it that we just cancelled the friendly. So I think he's going to be given a chance next season. He's basically, I'm looking at him the same way Trent progressed. That's kind of where I'm looking. Jurgen Oliver Klopp is his middle name now. I don't know. I think we'll stick with Norbert. If that was Mana getting fouled, then nothing would be said, said Scott. I don't know what to say. It's ridiculous. I don't even know why there's a debate about that penalty yesterday. It was as blatant a penalty as you're ever going to see. It's a yellow card and a penalty. 13 seconds. The ref should have pointed to the spot, and he did. I think even Dermot Gallagher said the referee probably could have pointed to the spot earlier. I think it was because he knows the club and he knew that Fergie could mould him. Possibly. Look, it just hasn't worked out there at United, and it comes a time where maybe you need to stop looking at the manager. And from what I can gather, they're about to appoint Mike Phelan as technical director, a man that obviously knows the club very well, but I don't know if this is the right move or not for United, nor do I really give a fuck, and I don't even know why I'm talking about it actually. Rashford to Barca, said Live Gamer. I'd seen links. 150 million I think was the figure mentioned. Kev's LFC artwork, how are you doing, buddy? Said, hey Craig, what's your stance on how to sort out diabolical refereeing? It's not something that can be done overnight. There's two sort of rough ideas I've had on this. One, you start bringing through a younger, more practice, is that what I'm looking for? Think about it like a youth system in a club. You look at it now and say to yourself, right, we're going to have these referees that we have now for maybe the next 5 years. But in that time, we start training a new group of referees, male and female, and we train them right through, and we teach them VAR from the start, and we show them instances of why VAR has and hasn't worked, and we let them know that this, and this, and you just teach them right from the start and get them ready to go, get them ready for the top level in 3, 4 or 5 years. And in the meantime, I'd like to see us go shopping around Europe from the Premier League and trying to pinch the best referees from other leagues, because there's no way you can tell me that we can't pay more for referees than maybe the Bundesliga or Ligue 1 or Serie A or wherever the fuck it is. There has to be quality referees refereeing in those leagues with European experience that we can bring into the Premier League. Not every Premier League referee is shy, and every referee will make mistakes. I absolutely understand that. Nobody is perfect. It's a very, very difficult job. But you're seeing instances where they're making up the fucking rules almost as they go along. What's a foul in one part of the pitch isn't a foul in another part of the pitch. What's a high foot in one part of the field isn't a high foot in another part of the field. And I'm basically talking about the penalty area here. You see free kicks given outside the box for a high foot. Inside the penalty area, all of a sudden, some of these are okay. I don't like this thing about there's only 5 minutes gone in the game, you can't book him yet, it's too early. All that type of stuff needs to be taken out. I don't buy this whole referees referee the occasion nonsense. Rules are fucking rules, and they have to be implemented as they're written. There's no room for a referee. There shouldn't be any room for a referee to use discretion. That's what I believe. That's my humble opinion on this. Technology has aided referees to a certain extent. VAR, it's hit and miss. I think we can all say football isn't black and white, so there's definitely a grey area there. Goal line technology is wonderful. That is one of the best things that has been brought into football. It's so quick, it's so simple, nobody argues with the referee. He looks at his watch, if it buzzes, it's a goal. No issues, nobody even argues anymore because they know technology's right. The refereeing thing, I know I keep banging on about it, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough for the Leeds today. Penalty denied, could possibly cost them promotion to the Premier League. Yeah, they went on and lost the game, but if they went 1-0 up from a penalty, anything could have changed. They could have set up differently, they could have defended deeper, they wouldn't have attacked as much, and a shitty refereeing decision could cost Leeds promotion to the fucking Premier League. And the riches that come with that, and all the hard work that Bielsa and those players put in throughout the season, could be taken away by a referee that clearly wasn't fit for purpose. Now, when we say these things, it's very easy for us and me just to vilify a referee in this situation. There's a team of 4. There's a referee, there's his 2 linesmen, and there's the 4th official. They should all work together, and somebody should have been able to say to that referee, that was wrong, mate. That was wrong. That was a penalty. Nailed on penalty. If the referee overrules them, then that's a different thing. And I don't know if in that lead situation somebody didn't have a word in his ear. But then what happens is, that referee will go in at half time, or any referee that makes a bad decision in the first half, and he'll probably know by the time he comes out for the second half that he's fucked up and that he's made a wrong decision. And it takes a very strong-willed referee not to then slightly a 50-50 to go the side of the team that you feel like you've screwed over in the first half. All the little things, 50-50 throw-ins. Is it a foul? Isn't it a foul? Even subconsciously, it'd be very easy for the referee to go, I fucked them over in the first half, I better give them this. So it'd take a very strong-willed character to carry on refereeing without any bias in the second half after a situation like that. And there's very few of those floating about. Brewster's going nowhere, so Brian, I'm very good, thank you, Elite Gaming. How are you? Congrats on 12k, thank you. If there is anybody watching that hasn't subscribed yet, please do hit that button and drop a like on the stream. We've hit 12k, but you know what, let's keep going. We've still got 3 weeks left of the season, maybe a little bit more. Let's see if we can't get to 12 and a half, 13k, whatever it is, but please do keep hitting that button. Also, yesterday, do you remember at the end of the stream, we were talking about, was it the post-match show? One of them yesterday, somebody asked me about why do Liverpool think they're better than everybody else or something along those lines. And Connor pulled the clip, and the clip's had like over 100,000 views on Twitter, which is amazing. So thank you to everyone that shared it over there. 100k by the end of the year, hashtag why not, said Alpha G. Are the Dybala rumours true? I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. Juventus sporting director has come out and said Dybala's going nowhere. He's going to stay in Italy, but any Juve fans that I've spoken to haven't been happy with him. Any things you've seen coming out of Italy suggest that he's a little bit unsettled there at the minute and they're not happy with his attitude. So you just never know. You just never know what's going to happen. Thoughts on the Manchester derby? I've yet to be nervous when Liverpool play this season, but I'm fucking petrified about this game on Wednesday. And that's the God's honest truth. I've always tried to give you guys my honest view on here. When Liverpool are playing, I'm never really that nervous because I can watch them and I can see, you get a hint. Yeah, we're not great at the minute, but we'll settle into this game, we'll grind it out. When it's not in our hands, it makes it so difficult. You've often heard players or former managers or former players say it's easier when you're out on the pitch because you can deal with the situation. It's much harder when you're in the stands and you can't do anything about it. So to be doing a watch along of the game on Wednesday, I've no idea how I'm going to feel. I've no idea how I'm going to react during the game. I've got no idea what the fuck I'm going to say. Definitely doing a watch along of the Manchester derby, can't be arsed. Don't you worry about that, Paul. We'll be doing a watch along on here of that one starting about 25 minutes before kick-off. I wouldn't let this one go without doing a watch along, but I don't know. Don't expect me to be unbiased because I'm gonna have my Manchester United hat on, if you want to use that expression, and it kills me to say that, and it kills me that Manchester United have a say in where this Premier League title goes. But there's no point in hiding away from it or shying away from it. It is the truth. And what I'm trying to do to say to United fans is enjoy this little moment of relevance where you feel like you've got the fate or the destiny of the Premier League title in your hands, because you ain't going to have it for a very long time, and you aren't going to have it after that for a very long time. So enjoy that little bit of relevance on Wednesday. Anybody who believes they're just not going to show up and not going to play are fooling themselves. United have a lot to play for on Wednesday night themselves, so they've got to go out there and try and get something. I'm so nervous about it though. I'm so nervous because I feel if United get a draw, we're going to win the league. If United win, I think we're going to win the league. If City win, I would make them pretty strong favourites to go and win the league. I wouldn't say it's impossible because they've got to play Leicester, they've got to go to Burnley, but yeah, I mean, I have a lot of hopes pinned on Wednesday night, ladies and gents. I'm not even going to lie. I just hope City don't score in the first 5 minutes. That's Andrew. That's exactly what I've thought to myself, mate, as well. Just don't concede early, United. For fuck's sake, don't concede in the first 10 minutes. Because they've been doing that so often, haven't they? How many times in the past month have City gone 1-0 up within the first 10 minutes and then either seen the game out 1-0 or scored a second late on? It's nuts how often they score early. What was the Chelsea score? I believe it was 0-0. Andrew Robertson, I believe, or 2-0, 2-2. What am I saying? 2-2. I just had draw in my head and I went with 0-0. 2-2, I believe. Desmond, isn't that what they say? Believe in our destiny, said Gonads. Good morning from Sydney, Australia. Jer, how are you, buddy? Welcome in. I'll be so happy if United get a win or even a draw, mate. If United take points off City on Wednesday, I'm I'm pretty much fucking celebrating. I'm starting. My celebrations will start on Wednesday night if United get anything from that game. I know it'll be premature. I know there's still a lot to play for, but yeah, I'm gonna celebrate. I'm not even gonna lie. I actually have said I expect City to win a 2-1. That's my guess. But gotta hold out hope. Oh, such a big game. Craig, I don't mean to swear, but what United team would you pick for Wednesday against City? What United team? I haven't got a clue. Domestic butler, honestly, I haven't got a clue. I don't know. Honestly, maybe United fans in the chat or somebody else. I'm just the wrong person to pick. I'd like them to try and go toe to toe with them. So, Martial, Rashford, Lingard. I'd put Pogba on the bench. Lukaku on the bench. Pogba in midfield. McTominay. I'd probably fucking play McTominay. Do you know that? Because at least he's got a bit of grit about him. I don't know. After that, I honestly don't know. They're all shit, if I'm being honest. Like, there's probably 5 of those United players that I think are decent at a decently high level, and the rest of them are just bang average footballers, and that's my honest view on it. I want United to win us the league. The confusion if they score, said Alex Redo. Si senor, give the ball to Bobby and he'll score. Except that miss against Cardiff. Yeah, that was shocking. But look, we'll let him out because we love him. Mark from the United Stand said if Liverpool win the title, they deserve it. Look, whoever wins the title deserves it. I mean, none of us can argue against that. You don't play 38 games and not deserve it. So, whoever wins this Premier League, whether it's City or whether it's Liverpool, they absolutely deserve it. 98 possible points for City to win it, 97 for Liverpool to win it. That is a tremendous tally. United beat City last year, remember, I do, in the empty hat as well. After going, was it 1 or 2-0 down? Craig VVD says United need to do themselves a favour, never mind us. They do. They've got something to play for. It's so important for them. They've got Champions League football. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a rebuilding job to do at that club. They're going to need money. The players are going to want to be playing in the most prestigious competition in world football as well. They're going to want to be in the Champions League. They're not going to want to be playing in the Europa League next season. And if they don't get the Champions League, then maybe the likes of Pogba, De Gea are going to look to want to move on. Sorry I'm late, what's happening, said Aaron. We're just talking transfers, mate, having a little chat about the Manchester derby on Wednesday. I think that's about it, really. Who would you bring in as a backup keeper? Nobody. I'd leave Caoimhín Kelleher. I actually rate Caoimhín Kelleher. And look, I'm a little bit biased about this because he's Irish, but I'd give Caoimhín Kelleher the stint as backup. Press Mane reckons it'll be 3-1 to City. Let's hope United get a few penalties, said Vicstar. What do you think of the EFL Championship? In my opinion, it's the second best division in the world. Or it's the best second division, in the world. I'll probably agree with you on that one. It's a very exciting league and a very difficult league to get back out of. You know, if you've earned your way out of that league, or if you get out of that league, if you've earned it, it's very difficult. I don't mind either of the top 3 clubs. I don't mind either of those, like 2 of those 3 coming up. Norwich, Sheffield United, Leeds. Don't mind any of them. Don't want West Bromwich Albion anywhere back near the Premier League. Villa, I don't mind, to be fair. They're a good club. Middlesbrough, fuck off. Don't want them near the Premier League. West Brom can just stay in the Championship forever, as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely hate that club. It just has the bang of Tony Pulis all over it. Even though I know he's not there anymore, it still has the Tony Pulis aura all around it. For United to get anything from City, De Gea will need to have better than his second half performance. Prez Mane said Martial, Rashford and Lingard. City begin slowly and crumble when the score is 1-0. Their fans are all in shock. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping United start quickly. I mean, you've seen how United started away against Barcelona. If Rashford had taken his chance, God knows what might have happened in that game. I'm hoping for a similar start at Old Trafford on Wednesday. Do you think United will take the piss and just let City win? No. There's no way that's going to happen. There's too much at stake for them. Hope United take points. Pogba, Herrera and Fred, said Prez Mane in midfield. Honestly, Pogba is bang average, said David Lone. Maybe, but he's still on his day. If he shows up on Wednesday, he can impact the game. Is Carrick eligible to run all? I don't think so. I don't know what it is, but I'm thinking 2-1 to United, said Cobra. Does anybody else think United are going to get something from this game? So, thumbs up or thumbs down, or a yes or a no. Will United take points off City? Whether it's a draw or whether they defeat them, it doesn't matter. What I'm asking you is, will they take points off them? Thumbs up, thumbs down, or yes or no, whatever you want. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Maybe it's just to try and make me feel a little bit better. I don't know, because I'm really nervous about that game on Wednesday. Mark said, hello Craig, United will win Wednesday and City will draw against Burnley. I wish I had that confidence, Mark, mate. I really do. Right, so let's see how everybody's feeling here. I'll support United for 90 minutes and not after, said Amandeep. My United team to play City would be De Gea, Smalling, Lindelof, Shaw, Pogba, Herrera. I forgot Dalot. So, sorry, De Gea, Dalot, Smalling, Lindelof, Shaw, Pogba, Herrera, McTominay, Lingard, Rashford, Martial. You mightn't be too far off there, Scotty. Right, so, yes, everybody will... Prez Mane doesn't think they'll get anything, which is fair enough, as I predicted a 2-1 win for City as well. A lot of people very confident of Manchester United getting something here. You're making me feel a little bit better here, ladies and gents. I like this. A lot of confident people. Good. If United keep it scoreless, 0-0. They can't be that shite again. Gary Richards. 3-0 to United, said Tiernan Downey. Rafa, you've confused me. I don't know what that is. That's not anything. Nor a thumbs up, nor a thumbs down. Maybe you're on the fence. I hope so. I'm a secret fan of United, said Aaron Dirks. Joanne thinks I'll get something. Watching Burnley tonight, I'm confident they'll get a draw against City, said Brandon. I just wonder if they'll be on the beach. That's the only thing I don't want to happen, mate. I just don't want Burnley to know that they're safe and be on the beach. Do you think Liverpool should buy Jack Grealish as well as João Felix, Werner De Ligt? Jack Grealish, no. I don't think. I don't like Jack Grealish. Maybe that's why. Maybe the whole Ireland thing has me biased on him as well. I'd seen Spurs linked to Jack Grealish very heavily. A club like Leicester would probably be another great show for Jack Grealish. It's still Old Trafford. Surely they'll get something, said Vicstar. United need to park the bus big time, said Kev Wright. BCSS Regana said, I'm a United fan, but this is so tough. We got so much to play for, and City do as well. It's very difficult, mate. As you've said, it's equally as difficult for us having to watch on and know that nothing we can do can affect the game. Kloppo said he's going to watch it because he said there'd be nothing else on Wednesday. I think he was going to watch it regardless. Domestic Butler doesn't think they can get anything. Eric Warry said 1-0 United. Ambulance for Fergie. Aaron Dirk said, feeling tickety boo, my brother read. Nice. Right, another question, if I may, if you could indulge me. And thank you to everyone that answered that one. 3-2 United, said Fabian Black. If Manchester City drop points against Manchester United on Wednesday, are Liverpool winning the Premier League? Is it done and dusted? Or are my celebrations going to be too premature? Because I will be celebrating, I'm not going to lie. If they drop points, I'll be celebrating. If City drop points, are we winning the league? Is it done and dusted? I think so. I thought you were having the night off. I was going to, John, but as I said at the start, mate, I was expecting to be a lot more tired today than I am, so I decided to jump on anyway because I was feeling tickety-boo. United will win. Their best player, Pogba, Lukaku, Rashford. I'd be more confident of the Manx drawn if De Gea hadn't become so bad, said Crosby Red. He hasn't been great. I don't know, yeah, he hasn't been great. I can't argue against that. I still think he's an excellent goalkeeper, but yeah, his form of late hasn't been great. But you never know, he might have a worldie. Everyone's going yeah on this one. Love it. 2-1 to United, said BCSS Regana. A lot of people are like, yeah, definitely winning the league. Yes, love it. Wednesday. Even Connor, I see Connor's in the chat there. Connor earlier on as well is getting nervous about Wednesday. Too premature, said Cobra. I understand that aspect as well, mate. I really do. Maybe I'll just be celebrating the fact that it will be back in our own hands. There's still got, even if they drop points, there'll still be a couple of squeaky bum moments between now and the end of the season. But I think a lot of people seem to be of the mindset, yeah, if City drop points, we're going to win this. Ethan said United haven't lost at home in the Premier League since August. I didn't know that. They should have lost against us, to be fair. But look, that's good. I'll take it. JR Football said if City drop points, yep, we're winning the league. Liam Granby said, really think United will get something. They're going to be wanting to make a statement after what happened at the weekend. Plus, it's a derby, so they're going to be fired up for the game. John, how are you? John Frusciante, hope you're keeping well, buddy. Too premature, said Best Buddies. Not yet, but it'll be 99% sure, said Vic Star. Yes, but it's not over. The Magpies won't be an easy game. I don't know. I think Newcastle's going to be handy enough, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, Huddersfield is as close to a gimme as we could ask for on Friday, as long as we show up and play near the level we can play at. Carragher was saying a similar thing as well. I think it's a gimme, basically, that one. So then it's down to Newcastle and Wolves. And they're kind of games where you would expect us to do it, but as people have pointed out, both teams that can be very stubborn and very tough to break down at times as well, with two very good managers. The matches aren't played yet, so let's keep confidence that we can win all the games, said Josh Kelly. I think if United win, we win the title, said Live Gamer. If you had to sell one, Salah or Van Dijk, no, sorry mate, I don't get into that. I'll tell you why, because there's too much negativity going around with Liverpool fans as it is. And I don't like to add to that by even entertaining. And I know you're only asking for a bit of fun, so please don't think I'm just being a horrible fucker. But I just don't get into, would you rather lose this or this, because we're not going to lose either, so no point in even chatting about it, if you get where I'm coming from. If we drop points after City did, then we're cursed. Oh, absolutely. If City drop points and then we drop any points, we're fucked. I'd absolutely agree with you there, Brandon. I reckon Newcastle might throw a spanner in the works, said Cobra. I don't know. I don't think Newcastle are that fucking good, to be honest. I definitely think we can go there and beat them easily enough. But look, yeah, they have thrown spanner in the works to other big clubs, so I do get your point. Kev Wright said, at the end of the day, United are at home. They don't want to lose to their neighbours. No way, Jose, bit of bum. Newcastle are on the beach, said Connor. That's what I'm hoping for as well, mate. I really am. Rafa Benitez names a team sheet and nobody's ever heard of the 11 players. What? Who the fuck are these lads? Who is this fella here? Who? What? No, never heard of them. Oh, they're all youth players. Oh, good man, Rafa. Yeah, no, I fully get where you're coming from. There was food poisoning last night, Rafa, was there? That's an awful shame. Fair play to you, Rafa. You mean Huddersfield? Didn't I say Huddersfield? I don't know what you say. Adam. I'm sure I said Huddersfield's close to a give me, but if I didn't, excuse me. Benitez unleashing the Newcastle under 7s. That's what I'm hoping for as well. Can't be arsed. It'll be premature. Remember 13-14. Yeah, the thing is though, in 13-14, it was in our own hands, and it was that Chelsea game. I don't count the Palace game, because I think the title was lost at the Palace game anyway, because we were chasing goal difference. For me, it was the Chelsea game that we lost that Premier League in. I'm not laying blame on anybody. I'm not blaming it on Gerrard. I'm not blaming it on Rodgers. I'm not blaming it on anybody, but I think that was the game. Wolves at home, the atmosphere should be insane, so I think we'll win that one, said SDC. We owe Wolves a little kicking for knocking us out of the League Cup. Or out of the Cup, excuse me. If City don't win on Wednesday, it's ours. If they win, it's theirs. Even though I'm a little bit pessimistic on that, Paul, I wouldn't quite go as far as to say if they win, it's theirs. They've still got Burnley and Leicester, who can be difficult. Craig, get your party suit, my matey. When Man United take points off City, that title's coming home. I love Liam. You've been one of the most positive people around this, mate, for weeks, and I love that about you, pal. Always positive that the Reds are going to do it. City looking shaky in recent games, said Ben Rolfe. Evan Guest said, I'm still quietly confident Brendan Rodgers will take points off City just because he hates Sterling. I feel like we've gone off transfers very quickly here. I'm back on to Wednesday night, and look, I suppose it's only natural. If City drop points on Wednesday, how many more games do we have to win? 3. If they drop any points, mate, we still need to win the last 3 games. Unless, of course, they drop more points, in which case we could afford to have a draw or something. Hopefully your man Nunez starts up front for Newcastle, said Mark McDonnell. Craig, you're set to pick up £50,000 if City beat United. Do you want City to win? If I'm set to pick up 50 grand, if City beat United, do I want City to win? Nope. Nah. I'd sacrifice 50 grand for us to win the league. I'll never see 50 grand again in my life in a lump sum, but nah, money's not important to me. Liverpool winning the league and the memories that will go with that, and the push forward that will give our football club. Nah, you can stick to 50 grand. I'll take Liverpool winning the league if that was on offer. Now, if you want to talk like 10 million or something, we'll have a different conversation, but 50 grand, I'd pass up 50 grand for us to win the league. If you beat Man United, Brendan Rodgers will get a draw against them, said Live Gamer. Or if City beat United, Brendan Rodgers will get a draw against them. Domestic Butler said, I think City will lose to Leicester, will smash Huddersfield to help our goal difference, and then draw to Newcastle, beat Wolves, and win the title on goal difference. Imagine the nerves on the last day if we were watching goals in both games. Like, that would be fucking crazy. Mudasir said, City lose 2, wins 1. I don't know what City lose 2, wins 1, draw. I don't know what that means, mate. Sorry. I'm just trying to read back over it in case I'm reading it wrong. No, I can't figure it out, buddy. Sorry. Soccer AM took the right piss out of Gerrard back then. Yeah, but they're good for banter, to be fair. Soccer AM. Regardless of the outcome, I'm so proud of this team, said Stephen Finch. The last 3 seasons have boosted Liverpool to the top of the elite teams in the world. Yes, I'm absolutely with you, Stephen, on that, 100%. No matter what happens, I am really proud of this group. Connor said, for those saying it was Gerrard's fault, we wouldn't have even been in contention in the first place without Gerrard. I don't see how anybody can see it's his fault. He slipped. Like, the man slipped. He didn't score an own goal. He didn't give away a penalty. He didn't get recklessly sent off. He slipped. The system that Rodgers played back then involved Gerrard splitting the centre backs, and that's what happened there. That's why he was so exposed, because he was in the centre, the last man basically. Once he'd split the centre backs and they'd went either side of him, if he lost possession of that ball, Dembaba was through on goal, and that's what happened. Gerrard slipped and he was through on goal. Craig is correct. We didn't lose the title to Palace in 2014. We lost it against Chelsea. Cape Town Muslim said, I'm still having nightmares about 89 against Arsenal. That's my first memory of this football club, mate. That's the game that made me fall in love with Liverpool. That game against Arsenal, even though they lost, even though Arsenal won the league 2-0 at Anfield, that's the game that made me fall in love with Liverpool Football Club. How weird is that? Don't forget that Brighton might not be safe against City. Yes, there is that to hope for as well. Tom Boland, mate, thank you for the super chat, although he didn't put a comment in, but thank you for the money. That sounds weird, saying thank you for the money. I think that's the first time I've ever said that phrase, because usually it's thank you for the super chat and then you read out the chat, but thank you for the super chat, mate. Is this the first time you've become a United fan for 90 minutes? I've been uncomfortable with the becoming a United fan part. Is it the first time I've ever wanted United to get a result? There's probably been another time where we've needed them to do us a favour, I'm sure, to get a top 4 place or to get through in something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's been other times in my life where I've needed United to get a result. People are overlooking Brighton. It's the last game of the season. Brighton still haven't secured safety. They'll be up for it, so I can't be arsed. Ella said, won't see United game as I have a match, which probably a good thing. Yeah, do you know what it is? Probably a good thing. For that Spurs game against City, I tried to sleep through it, and I woke up just after the first half, looked at my phone, I seen 1-0, Foden, was it 5 minutes? I was like, fucking that. Yeah, I might as well have fucking known that was happening and not even looked at the phone. United 2, City 1, Liverpool 5, Huddersfield 0, make up the goal difference, said Mark. Connor, why are you writing the word tough? I don't know, have I missed something there? Wasn't even a slip, it was a stumble. That's what annoys me the most. We do a collection for you, Craig, if you gave up 50k. Make more than Liverpool win the title. Yeah, there's probably that as well. Yeah, I'd imagine that might happen. Craig, what's this, Craig? All I and should all. I don't know what you're saying there, Scotty. Sorry, mate. I can't. Fuck Manchester City. I can get that part of it. Hey, Craig. Hope you're well, mate. Said Luke. Will you be watching the derby on Wednesday? Oh yes, mate. We're doing a watch along. So yeah, we'll definitely be watching it. Is it a 7:45 or an 8 o'clock game? Does anybody know that off the top of their head? Just so I can let you guys know what time the watch along will start. Anfield, Old Trafford and White Hart Lane. I don't know what that means, Jamie Todd. Anfield, Old Trafford, White Hart Lane. Maybe you're answering somebody who asked the question, I'm not sure. Can we talk about transfers? Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Let's end this by talking about transfers again. Right. I've said I think Timo Werner is the most likely player to come into Liverpool. Is there anybody that you think we've forgotten about, or anyone that we've missed here that you've seen linked with the Reds? Now, we've gone through so many. We've gone through Werner, Havertz, Bailey, Brandt, Amor, Alderweireld, De Ligt, João Felix, Isco, Insigne, Neves, Tonali, Jovic, Bergwijn. Who else was there earlier on? Ziyech, Nabil Fekir. Has anybody read anything more on the Nabil Fekir thing as well? I mean, a lot of stuff coming up over the past few days around Fekir. I'm just of the mindset that that's not going to happen. I mean, if it was going to happen, it would have happened last summer, and I don't know, maybe I'm being a pessimist on this. I just don't see it happening. 8 o'clock kickoff, brilliant. So look, the watch along, I'm not going to say half an hour beforehand, because what am I going to talk about for half an hour before that game? Probably 20 minutes. So we'll probably start the watch along at 7:40 on Wednesday. So we don't schedule watch alongs, remember that. So if you never see one scheduled, it's because we don't schedule them, because it's easier to get done for a copyright strike if you schedule them. That's my belief anyway. So yeah, 7:40 on Wednesday we'll be starting to watch along. So I hope you can join us for that one. You might see me fucking crying, you might see me laughing, you'll definitely see me swearing. After that I can't promise you anything. Stephen Byrne, 12k, well done. Sessegnon, yes, Ryan Sessegnon is somebody that I don't think we've spoken about at all. Fulham are going down. He said he wanted to have a season in the Premier League with Fulham. I'm sure he would have liked to have kept Fulham in the Premier League, but Sessegnon is a great example of somebody I think we should be going for as well, and it's a great shout by a couple of people in the chat. Anybody got a guess at what type of value we could get, or what type of value Fulham would put on Ryan Sessegnon? I have no idea. I don't even want to hazard a guess, but I'd like to know what you guys think Sessegnon is worth. Did Fekir change his agent? Yes, he absolutely did. His old agent came out and said that Nabil Fekir is going to struggle to sign a deal with a top 10 club. Didn't say why, but he did say that, which I found very interesting. I don't know if he was hinting at the injury. I don't know if he was hinting at something different. But he did come out and say that, so take from that what you want. Mudasir said, well done on 12k, Craig. Before you know it'll be 20. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Raphael Varane said Fabian Black. I don't think we're going to sign Varane, to be fair. 18 million, said Thomas Gaming. 40 million, 799 million. 25 million, Ella reckons 35 to 50 million. Kirby being very precise, mate. 21 million, I like that. And do you know what? I think Kirby's price there of 20, the low 20s is probably a reasonable guess. Kieran Aaron 35, Ben Rolfe 13 million, Alpha G 45. Brooks is a good shout. Eric Worry, he probably will move. And if I remember correctly, is Brooks' contract running down as well at Bournemouth? I'm sure I read something about that. Ella said she loves Sessegnon. Sessegnon is our relegated team. Steele, said Stephen Byrne. Yes, there is that. There is that like relegated club where we've got to go and raid them for a player. 50 million, said Jonathan Moore. 20 to 25, said Mossy Kyo. 40 million for Liverpool fan 9. He's priceless, said JR. See, that just goes to show, right? So in this little conversation we've had now, I think we've gone from 13 million up to 50. That just goes to show that it's very difficult for us to gauge the value of a player in this current market. Like we've guessed between 13 and 50 million. Well, that's disregarding the 799 million that Aminul had a guess at. Very tongue in cheek though, I believe. Sessegnon doesn't fit our system. He's a wing back. He's I would say he's a left winger, really, to be fair. I mean, he had been deployed as a wing back for Fulham, but he's more of a left winger or a left-sided forward, so I would say he could be used in our system. I've often said that I'd love to see Liverpool gone with 3 at the back, by the way. Well, I suppose, look, it's 3 at the back and then it's 5 when you're defending them, but I've often thought that system would suit Liverpool. He's a free agent. Who's this? Brooks, is he? I think it's Brooks you're talking about. I wouldn't pay more than 30 million, somebody else said. $1 billion, said Alex. I couldn't do the finger thing, mate. Sorry, I couldn't quite bring myself to do it. Zaha, Thomas Gaiman, we spoke about Zaha earlier on. Tony Cascarino was speaking about Wilfred Zaha and saying that he believes Liverpool have a really strong interest in Zaha. I'd have no issues with that. I think he's a very, very good player. And under the manager or stewardship of Jurgen Klopp and the coaching that he'd get at Liverpool, I think he'd come on leaps and bounds. So I'd have absolutely no issues with that one. Hakim from Dortmund, said Tom Jones. Who are we getting from Southampton and selling to Bournemouth this summer? That seems to be the go-to moves, doesn't it? There isn't really anybody at Southampton that I'd want. I mean, Bertrand you used to look at, but we've got Robertson now, so we don't need him. I can't think of anybody I'd really want from the... And to sell to Bournemouth, Lallana. There you go, job done. That's Fraser, said Brian Morrissey. They only just signed Brooks last summer. Well, then there you go. Fraser must have been the one I was thinking about. Thank you very much, Brian. Dele Alli would be good, although us and Spurs never do business, said Stephen Jones. I think we missed the ship for Dele Alli when we should have signed him before he went, when he was leaving. Was it MK Dons or was it Wimbledon? Was it AFC Wimbledon or MK Dons? It was MK Dons, I think he went from, wasn't it? Yeah, we should have signed him then. We had a deal done from him and we fucked it up. Should Gomez start at right back in the next game? Against Huddersfield? No. I would say no. Against Barcelona away? Absolutely yes, Roy Boy. I think he will start there against Barcelona. I think we'll see Trent start against Huddersfield away. Brad Walker reckons 29 million sounds about right. That's a good number, mate. I think you probably aren't too far off there. How about Munier and Rabiot? Yeah, the Rabiot thing has gone really quiet, actually. Good show, Vic Star. Munier, I don't know. I've seen no links of him to Liverpool, but maybe I've missed them. But Adrian Rabiot, he'd been linked to Liverpool. He'd been linked to Barcelona. There was links to Real Madrid. And look, he's a free transfer, so there's going to be no shortage. Actually, there was a link to Spurs there as well, but I think he came out and said that if he was going to come to the Premier League, he'd rather go to Liverpool, I think. Maybe I just invented that in my head, but I think I read that somewhere. It was MK Dons, thank you, mate. We don't need to buy Rabiot. We could get him on a free. That's the beauty of it. Well, you'd have a signing on bonus and his massive wages. We're going to sign Milner to a 2-year contract. Are we? Interesting. I've no objections. James Milner can stay here forever, as far as I'm concerned. Craig, Timo Werner's too expensive to come off the bench. LFC will be shrewd. Anticipate a Brandt type transfer. Why would he come off the bench though, Evan? That's my thing here. I don't know if he would come off the bench. I mean, there's an option to maybe drop Bobby lower, put Bobby in the 10. You could even put Mane in the 10 if you needed to. Then there's also rotation to think of. We can rotate through the front three and rest a few of them if you want to compete across 4 tournaments. Brandt would be a great transfer, particularly if you got him with the buyout clause that he has. Excuse me. Tarkowski is a shout, actually. I don't know. He'd be quite expensive though. All these Premier League club transfers are usually ridiculously overpriced. We should go for Fraser. We like doing deals with Bournemouth at Cahill. Brandt rejected us. Fuck him, said Alpha G. I'm very fickle like that as well, mate. I have to admit, if somebody rejects us once, I kind of do hold a bit of a grudge about it. Remember when we were linked to Mario Götze recently? I was thinking, fuck him. He had his chance and he said no. Connor said, is Rabiot not off to Barca? I had read that, Connor, and then a couple of weeks later I read that Real Madrid are in pole position to sign him. But I had also read, like you're probably suggesting, that he'd actually probably sign something at Barca. The honest answer is, mate, I don't know. Joe.co.uk are reporting that Mo and Jurgen have fallen out. Really? By Joe, I imagine it's probably Melissa Reddy, because she's the senior football correspondent for Joe. I'd very much like to read that article. Have you got a link, Red Hulk, or even more information for us, buddy? I mean, it's one thing calling out like bullshit art sites for stuff like this, but Joe are a decent site. I wouldn't put them in with the caught offsides or the builds or any of those. Like, I would consider Joe a very respectable site. Klopp wanted him in his first year. He said no because of the Champions League. Yeah, exactly. Fuck him. Jomez starts against Barcelona away, said Stephen Richards. I think so. I think I'll start him at right back. Could you imagine Dele Alli at Liverpool? All the other fans would be calling us the diving team. And we'd love him, and we'd be telling them all to fuck off, man. Ollie, that's the fun part of it, mate. Robertson will come home to his hotel in Spain after the Barca game, put his hands in his pocket and find his keys, his wallet, and the little Lionel Messi. What about Dembele? Are we talking about Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona? It doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere, Mark. He's kind of settling in now at Barca. I think he's knuckled down a little bit. I haven't heard I remember Guillaume Balaguer, I remember watching a video of him saying that he's basically been told at Barcelona, you knuckle down now or you're gone. And I think he started to knuckle down, but he's a class footballer. I mean, there's immense talent there. Rabiot's supposed to be disruptive influence. Can't see Jurgen signing him. I don't know about that, mate, although we've heard that about Daniel Sturridge and we signed him and he looks fine. We heard that about Shaqiri, and I've yet to hear reports of him being a disruptive influence in the changing room. So I suppose you never know. You got to take these things with a massive pinch of salt. Callum Wilson to replace Daniel Sturridge. I think we can do better, much better than Callum Wilson. To be fair, he's had a great season and all, but if we're gonna bring in another striker, I think we need to go away from the English route. That hasn't worked out too well for us, really, has it? We've got Ryan Brewster, and he's going to be a superstar, and he's English, but I don't know, not for me. He smacks more of a Chelsea type signing, John, to me. Rabiot sacked his mother, who was his agent. Rabiot not good for morale, said Eric Worry. Nicolas Pepe from Lille, second top scorer behind Mbappe. Real Madrid very, very strongly linked with that guy, although how many times have I said that about every player? I've definitely seen links to Liverpool to that guy Nicolas Pepe, 100%. We need a new centre forward striker. Not saying Bobby's bad, but we need. I get where you're coming from with that, mate. I absolutely. Anybody who says we need a striker, I wouldn't take that as a slight against Bobby Firmino at all. I just think Firmino in our system can be very, very beneficial in the 9, but there are occasions where you need that elite finisher, that fox in the box, and I don't think it's a slight against Bobby Firmino to say that the club could do with adding another centre forward in. I just think we need another centre forward. I think that's fair enough to say. Jesus, I don't rate him at all, to be fair. I really, when he came to Manchester City and he started, I thought, and I know we had been linked with him, I thought, oh shit, we missed out on one here. But Gabriel Jesus hasn't progressed as far as I would have expected. That's not to say he won't continue to progress and become an absolute superstar, but at this moment in time, I don't know, I think Jesus is a little bit hit and miss. Richarlison, we're not going to do business with Everton. I mean, that's, when is the last time we actually did business with Everton where money changed hands? I know, what's the guy's name with the hair? Abel Xavier. He went from one club to the other. I don't know, was he a free transfer? Barnby, did he go from one club to the other as well? There was a few more, but it's been a very long time since I remember money changing hands between Liverpool and Everton. Don't rule Hazard out. His favourite place to play is Anfield. Yeah, he meant that as in I like scoring there, mate, not as in a massive compliment to Liverpool. He meant I like playing at Anfield. I score against Liverpool there. It was more a dig at us than a compliment. And he is 100% going to go to Real Madrid if he leaves Chelsea. 100%. It's not even up for... He said it. He's come out and said as much. I either go to Real Madrid or I stay at Chelsea. Brewster will be ready in a couple of years. How about proven veteran Benzema? I mean, you spoke about disruptive influences. Benzema is one of those disruptive influences. From what I've read, and you know, you can read about his personal life. That's there for everybody to read about. We'll be happy with Timo Werner, Julian Brandt, promote Harry Wilson, sell Ryan Kent, Ajaria, and lose Sturridge and Moreno on a free. Wilson's the very interesting one. He scored 2 today for Derby, 2 late goals to push them into that last promotion place. One of them was a penalty, one of them was a counter-attack. He's done quite well there. What I'd read originally is that he's going to go out on loan to a Premier League club. I don't know if that will change. I don't know if Jurgen Klopp will have a look at him over the summer, maybe give him the pre-season and then make a decision. What about Jovic? Isn't he banging them in over in Germany land? Yes, he is. Somebody had mentioned to me he was on loan from Benfica, and they signed him for what I was told on BT today in commentary was a €7 million deal. They took him from. They signed him permanently from Benfica, which is just ridiculous when you think of how much they could sell him for now in the summer. Benfica must be absolutely kicking themselves. Joel said, I'm a United fan, but I still like watching this channel. Mate, thank you, and welcome into the channel. I mean, yes, it's a Liverpool channel. We often discuss Premier League matters that are outside of Liverpool, and we do welcome in fans from every club. We just ask that they're respectful, and you seem to be absolutely that, my friend. Joel.co.uk saying it was once again reported in the Independent. I'll have a little Google about this afterwards. It'd be interesting to read up about that. Liam Granby said, I'd love us to go and get Werner, Sessegnon, De Ligt, Fekir, a backup keeper and a right back when Trent needs a rest. What else we got? Connor said, it's all just quoting that report from the French journal, which is bullshit, nothing to worry about. I mean, look, there's been too many things about Mo saying this is all coming from that penalty thing, as far as I can gather. All of this is coming from the fact that he wasn't allowed to take the penalty because James Miller's on penalties, and people are reading into that and just reckoning that that's it now. Mo wants out because he couldn't take a penalty. He's not that fickle. Wouldn't mind Correa from Atletico Madrid. Very good footballer. 5 days in work. It's hard. Yeah, I'd imagine it is. 5 days in a row in work. It's difficult for anyone to do, especially the first day when you know you're 5 in a row to come. Craig, I'd be happy if Grujic came into the squad. Again, Mark, from what I believe, what I've read from journalists, is that Liverpool want to loan Marco Grujic back out, but they want to loan Grujic out to a club that's going to be playing in Europe next season. We've seen how highly Hertha have spoken about Grujic. Their manager said he's the best midfielder to have played at the club for the past 10 or 15 years. We also hate on the Manx, but welcome, said Cape Town Muslim. Oh well, look, there is that. We are Liverpool fans underneath it all. I'm a United fan as well, Craig, but like the chat. Thank you, John, and that's a massive compliment to our subscribers, because it is our subscribers that welcome people in. I mean, I'm only here reading out comments. Without your wonderful comments and without your insightful opinions, it'll just be some bald overweight Irish lad talking nonsense. So, as I always say, people say congratulations to me on 12k. No, it's congratulations to us on 12k, because we're a community on here, and we'll fail or succeed together, and we wouldn't be here without your support. So you know we love you, and thank you for that. Gonna finish up in a couple of minutes. One last shout out to anyone that is watching that hasn't subscribed. Even if you're not a Liverpool fan, we do welcome you into the chat. Please do hit that subscribe button. All the content is free. Watch alongs of every Liverpool game, nightly streams, lots of transfer news and gossip over the summer as well. Connor and I are also launching our second channel over the course of the summer, which is called Crack On. Connor can hopefully post that into the chat, the name of it, because if I start typing, God knows what will happen. Any other bits and pieces? Oh yes, the Patreon is there if you want to have a look at that. Patreon.com/Anfield Agenda. We're going to start putting out what happened. Actually, I need to explain the Patreon thing, because a couple of people have asked me about this. People are wondering, people signed up to Patreon in April and they're saying they haven't charged me yet. What's going on? The way Patreon work is they charge on the 1st of every month. So if you signed up on the 2nd of April, 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever it is, Patreon don't charge you until the 1st of the following month, because that's when the billing period is. They bill people on the 1st of every month. So from the 1st of May, we'll start releasing the Patreon rewards to people that have signed up. So that will be whether that's getting your mod, whether that's getting the discount on the merchandise, whether that's getting the newsletter, and all the other bits and pieces that are in the reward scheme. Have a look on there, patreon.com/Anfield Agenda. There's 2 tiered systems. There's a $2 a month and a $5 a month. If you like it, great. If it's not for you, doesn't matter. It's all free anyway on here, so it's all good. Subscribe or fuck off, said Stephen Richards. That's a bit harsh, mate, to be fair. Good night, Reds. 12k, big up AA, said Stephen Byrne. And Connor has put the link in there. Good man, Connor. Thank you. Right, look, Alderweireld is cack. He ducked under Sterling's shot and was at fault again on Saturday. I don't know. I think it's a little bit harsh. I'm not talking about what you're saying is wrong there about Sterling's shot. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying to call him shit, I think is a little bit harsh. What is not fake 100% is Salah sulking after Milner took the ball off him. Yes, I did see that video, and I did see there did look like Salah was a little bit downhearted after Milner took the ball off him, but at the same time, I think Salah understands that it's about the club putting the points on the board, and the players will give him every opportunity to win that golden boot again. They'll do their best for him to set him up and give him opportunities. Liam said, let's give Craig 15k before the end of the season. Yeah, look, that ain't happening, mate. 3k in 2 weeks is even the most optimistic part of me can't quite get my head around that one. Craig, shouldn't United fire Ole and then rehire him as interim manager for Wednesday night? That's a great idea. I'm all for that one. Interim manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, let them win the last 4 games. Grand. As long as they take points off City on Wednesday. 15k before the Champions League final, said Eric Warwick. I don't know. We're at 12k now. Let's just see what happens before the end of the season. Whatever happens. It's not in our hands. It's up to fate. Look, ladies and gents, as always, thank you. Just keep an eye out for tomorrow. If you see a stream schedule tomorrow night, there'll be a stream. I'm not going to say there will or there won't. Let's just wait and see what tomorrow brings us. But what I can say for certainty is that, or with certainty, is that Wednesday night, the game starts at 8 o'clock, so 7:40 we'll be starting our watch along. Manchester United versus Manchester City in a game that could have the fate of the Premier League title in its hands. I'm nervous already, and I can imagine as the hours tick on, I'm only going to get more nervous. But look, as always, ladies and gents, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on. Lots of love to all our new subscribers that have joined us over the past week. Thank you for giving us a try. I hope you continue to enjoy the channel. Hope everybody had a lovely Easter Sunday yesterday. Look, take care of your families, tell your loved ones that you love them, and up the motherfucking Reds.